Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I was just about to film a video on my skincare routine and the products that I use when I got an appointment with my dermatologist to address another concern, and that is contact dermatitis on my neck. It was very red, not itchy, but very leathery. Let me give you a close-up. All right, you can still kind of see the redness over here. Yeah, I just could not get rid of it. So while I was there, I went through all of my ingredients for my skincare routine and also the routine itself. And she had some thoughts, guys. She had some thoughts. And so instead of scrapping the entire video, I thought it would be to your benefit if I reviewed those thoughts with you and told you what she thought was okay and not so okay. So that's what we're going to do in this video. But first, let me tell you something about myself. I'm Cindy. I'm 68 years old. I have dry skin. I have sensitive skin, mostly on my neck. I do videos on makeup, skincare, and curly hair. I would love to have you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that bell to receive notification of when I post new videos. And please consider liking the video. That would really help me out. Let me tell you something else about me. I'm a true ingredient nerd. The first thing I do when I see a skincare product is I check the ingredients. And what I look at are two things. I look at Paula's Choice Dictionary, and I also look at NC Decoder. I'll have both of those things listed in the description box below. And that tells you what are the good ingredients, what are the bad ingredients, and what's just simply okay. So I included all the ingredients on all the products that I use, and I was feeling pretty good about it. I also want to tell you the ingredients that you want to probably avoid. So I'm not talking about the ones that you probably know about. Whoa! And that's like phthalates and parabens, formaldehyde, that most of the manufacturers will advertise those as problematic, and that's probably just common sense. But some other ones in a lot of products, if not most products, things like fragrance, citrus essential oils, alcohol, which is very drying. Also, for some of us who have sensitive skin, chemical sunscreen, and then finally, this is according to my dermatologist, propylene glycol, which can cause a lot of sensitivity. I put asterisks next to those two because that depends on the person. So those are the things that I know off the bat I'm going to try to avoid. Although my dermatologist identified some other things. Let's start with my AM routine and get my dermatologist reaction. My basic routine is to cleanse, to use vitamin C, to use a targeted serum, to moisturize, and then use sunscreen. The first thing I do is use First Aid Beauty Face Cleanser in the shower. And here are the ingredients. First of all, you're going to see some ingredients that are bolded. There's a blue ingredient, which is phenoxyethanol. Anything that is below phenoxyethanol is 1% of the product list. Phenoxyethanol is a preservative, and they can't formulate that at more than 1%. So that's a clue to you that anything below that is going to be less than 1%. And I put something in red because she said to me that she doesn't want to see anything on my face right now with tocopherol, which is vitamin E. Now, normally, that's a good thing. That's an antioxidant. We want to see antioxidants. But for some people with certain conditions, and right now it's the neck, it could be sensitizing. So she wanted me to watch out with any product with tocopherol. And guess what? I looked at almost all the products I'm using, and they almost all have tocopherol. For this one, it's a wash-off product, so I'm going to give it a check. Because even though it has tocopherol, you're washing the product right off your face. It's very mild, it has a lot of good ingredients, and even though it doesn't have fragrance, it smells pretty good. The next step I take in the morning is to use a vitamin C serum. Vitamin C is a very researched ingredient. It brightens the skin, it deals with hyperpigmentation, it deals with fine lines and wrinkles. Although at this point, I don't know if we're talking about fine lines and wrinkles, but we're talking about wrinkles. So it deals with a lot of anti-aging issues. Vitamin C is most often combined with ferulic acid and vitamin E. And what is vitamin E, guys? It is tocopherol. So once again, I'm not giving up my vitamin C. I'm just using it. I'm just making sure that it is on my face. I never put it on my neck. Make sure when you use vitamin C that it's not more than 20% because it is an acid. Don't use it higher than that because it's going to end up really irritating you. Vitamin C may irritate you, period. You may not be able to use it, but I'm able to use it even with skin sensitivity. The original research on vitamin C was done with SkinCeuticals, a very high cost brand. I believe one bottle, this is not SkinCeuticals, by the way, is $169. And it only lasts for 3 months because the downside of vitamin C, it degrades very easily. See the dropper? This clear vitamin C will turn yellow, then orange, and it's completely unusable. So it only sticks around for about 3 months and then it's unusable. Other brands that you may try, Timeless, 20% vitamin C, E, and ferulic acid. And the one that I'm using right now, Geeking Gorgeous 101 Sea Glow. It's very reasonably priced and it is extremely fresh. It does not, unlike Timeless, have propylene glycol in it. But it does have tocopherol because that's vitamin E. What does my dermatologist say about this? She says, yes, as long as it stays clear away from my neck. Another brand that you may want to check out is May Love Glow Maker. But the last time I got May Love Glow Maker, it came and it was slightly yellow. So it was on its way for turning orange. And so I kind of gave up on it. But that was my experience. You may have a very different experience. Which of the vitamin C's have you tried and which one do you like, if any? So another product that I use right after my vitamin C is Niod Survival Zero. It had so many antioxidants in this one, it just seemed like worth trying. It's kind of an orange color. Doesn't mean it's churned bad. It's just the color of the serum. It blends in nicely, it dries down quickly, and it does have tocopherol in it, but it's towards the end of the ingredient deck. And as you probably know, the higher up on the list of ingredients, the more concentrated that ingredient is. My dermatologist was okay with this because she said, again, as long as you keep it away from your neck, the sensitive area, you're going to be okay with this. Now the next step, moisturize. I had 3 moisturizers that I sort of interchanged. The first, the writing has worn off, but this is Dermatology Peptide Night Cream. And even though it says night cream, there's nothing wrong with using it during the day. It is a very creamy moisturizer that blends in the skin nicely. Here are the ingredients, and of course it has tocopherol, and that's right in the middle of the deck. And It has a lot of nice peptides. My dermatologist was a little queasy about the peptides. I have no idea why. We didn't really get into a discussion about it. And then I showed her the next moisturizer that I bought. This is an indie company. It's Phytosurgence Verdant Force Field. One of the nice ingredients in this is green tea, and it comes across green. So if you want to look like Shrek, here you go. Actually, as soon as you rub it in, you don't see any of the green. It does still look a little green. It's got kind of a weird smell. If you like the smell of green tea, you'll love this. Some people do. But I like the ingredients in this. But once again, she was kind of like, there's tocopherol, so stay away from this. And the one that I personally was the least impressed with was the La Roche-Posay Tolérane Smoothing Repair Moisturizer. Here's the ingredient deck. I was thinking, not so impressive. And then she told me, dermatologists love this one, so now I have switched to using this exclusively. The next step is sunscreen. I use it every day, whether I'm staying in the house, riding around in a car. I don't have to be at the beach. I don't have to be outside primarily. I use it always because those sun rays, they're sneaky little devils. They're going to come through and they're going to affect you no matter what. In fact, that's the reason that my neck looks like crap and my face looks better. I'm not talking about the contact dermatitis. I'm just looking at the wrinkles on my neck. That's because it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago I figured out, oh, I have to put sunscreen on my neck. No, I didn't, because I only thought about my face, and now I am really regretting it. But anyway, I digress. I have pretty much always used mineral sunscreen, and the reason for that is because I read, researched, and found out that it was the milder form of sunscreen rather than the chemical sunscreens that they sell in the US. The one that I use is Summer Fridays Shade Drops Mineral Sunscreen SPF 30. Am I thrilled that it's only SPF 30? No, I'm not. I wish it was SPF 50. But, there's several factors to consider. Number one, for me, it's tone. They're often too dark for me, and they don't blend in nicely. You could see them. This one blends in perfectly. And it also dries down very quickly. This may be my 4th bottle of this sunscreen. Mineral sunscreen contain either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, or both of them. But actually, it's zinc oxide that you're looking for. But once again, we see tocopherol. But she was okay with this. I guess it's low enough on the deck that she was comfortable with this one. So we're going to give it a yes. Okay. Can y'all read this? Because I can't. This is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun SPF 50 and PA+++. Now, I always thought, till I looked into it, that having the PA+++ was a better, more protective sunscreen. It's not. It just means since it was produced in this case, Japan, they use a different rating scale for sunscreen than they do in the US. In the US, it has to say broad spectrum. What you see in purple are the chemical ingredients, but they're not US chemical ingredients. And I thought, all right, let me give this a try. Maybe the chemical ingredients in Japan are less irritating than the chemical ingredients in the US. But according to my doctor, no go. So this one I will be giving to my husband. My evening routine. First of all, I do a 2-step cleanse. which I'll show you in a minute, a serum. Oh, she had a lot to say about this one. Moisturize, and then a retinoid, which I have a lot to say. Let's talk about the two-step cleanse. The purpose of a two-step cleanse is to first try to get, using either a balm or an oil, try to get your makeup or your tinted sunscreen off. And what I use is Clinique Take the Day Off. I have a graveyard of balms that I have tried. So many of them, probably sitting in my cabinet right now. I have 5 of them in various stages of use. And I keep coming back to this one. It is expensive, but I've gotten really good deals at Sephora when they have sales. So I really like this one. And as you can see, it has tocopherol, but it's almost at the last ingredient on the ingredient deck. Check mark from the doctor. She was okay with that. And then the next thing I use in my two-step cleanse, even I know this is problematic, but because you wash it off, I thought, all right, I'm going to get away with it. If you look at all the red in this, granted, we have all the fragrance below the phenoxyethanol, which means it's less than 1%, but it is so nice, and I absolutely love the smell. And she gave it, all right, a conditional check. I'll let you get away with it. But really, I know, and you know, it's not the best product. The next one, I'm not going to keep you in suspense. Not only was this a no, this one from my dermatologist was a hell no, you've been duped. This is the Photo Enzyme ND Youth Recovery, and it's considered, by the people who sell it at least, a DNA repair enzyme serum. Theory behind it is that the DNA in your skin is being damaged by the sun and by other factors in the environment. But my dermatologist was like, this is not going to do anything for you. You can't repair your DNA. I even contacted the company to find out in the ingredient deck which specifically are the DNA enzymes. And they identified them for me, and I put them in purple. So you know which ones they are. But she was like, don't believe what you read. Don't believe what you hear. This is coming from my dermatologist, and I'm just putting it out there to say, for her, it was, as I said earlier, not just a no, but a big old hell no. For a moisturizer, I did find a moisturizer that I really like from an indie company. And it is the Jordan Samuel Moisture Recovery Cream. The reason I like this is because it is so thick and occlusive. Look how thick it is. It can practically stand up on its own. All right, so I'm putting it on my hand. For nighttime, I really want a lot of moisture. So thick and luxurious. It does have alcohol. It's one of the last ingredients, so I'm not concerned about it. And my dermatologist said, yes, use it. It's a great find. And finally, retinoid. All the products that we've talked about, although all the steps are necessary, this is probably the gold standard for making a difference in anti-aging. And I'm like, don't take my retinoids away from me. This would about kill me. But I was having serious problems using tretinoin. Tretinoin is the main ingredient in Retin-A. What I was using was Curology, an online company that mixes a whole assortment of different ingredients for you, but the main ingredient is tretinoin. I was at 0.04%. It also has azelaic acid, and I also had an ingredient for acne because my skin was breaking out at 68. Yeah, fun. But every time I used it, I would get severe dryness and I would get peeling. It was out of control. And I'm talking about very recently. It used to be that I could use it with no problem, but lately, no, I can't. I had in the house, because I was using this on my neck, which I'm not doing now, I switched to using this on my face. This is a Retinol. Another name for that is a retinaldehyde. You have 3 classes of retinoids. You have retinol, that's the stuff you could buy in the drugstore or over the counter. You have retinaldehyde, and you have tretinoin. Retinol is 20 times less effective than tretinoin. Retinaldehyde is 10 times less effective than tretinoin. I can use this on my face every night because it's also a lot less sensitizing. Using some kind of retinoid on my face is a lot better than getting no retinoid on my face. And the doctor, her feeling about this is an absolute check mark, yes. She said that 40% of people cannot use tretinoin. They just are much too sensitive for it. And now I believe I'm one of those people. So that's my skin routine and my dermatologist reaction to my skin routine and the products that I use, and most importantly, the ingredients that are in the products that I use. What's your skin routine like? Are there any steps that you take that I don't take? And what are some of your favorite products? Thanks so much for taking the time to watch today. I really appreciate it. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that like button. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.